Hello and welcome to Neblu Healthy. Today we're unraveling the mysteries of diabetes. Have you ever wondered why some people develop type 1 diabetes? Let's delve into this mystery. Type 1 diabetes, often diagnosed in childhood, is where the puzzle gets a tad complex. It's an autoimmune condition. Yes, in an ironic twist, the body, in an attempt to safeguard itself, turns on its own cells. Specifically, the insulin-producing beta cells located deep within the pancreas. Insulin, as some of may know, is a key player in our body's energy management. It's akin to a key, unlocking body cells to allow glucose in, converting food into fuel. However, in type 1 diabetes, the immune system launches an erroneous assault, decimating these critical beta cells. The outcome? Insulin production screeches to a stop, glucose accumulates and there you have it. Type 1 diabetes manifests. But what ignites this autoimmune response? Although the exact cause is still a mystery, scientists theorize a combination of genetic and environmental factors are involved. From a genetic standpoint, certain genes can make an individual more susceptible to 1 diabetes. If these genes are present, the risk escalates. Nonetheless, genes alone can't induce type 1 diabetes. The environment has its role too. Some scientists propose that viral infections might be the trigger. The hypothesis is that, in genetically vulnerable individuals, certain viruses can ignite the autoimmune reaction against beta cells. But it's important to note, is just one theory among many others. So, as you can see, type 1 diabetes is a sophisticated tangle of genetic predisposition and environmental triggers, a disastrous combination that results in this lifelong condition. It isn't about lifestyle or dietary choices as often misunderstood. It's a game of genetic roulette with environmental factors that we're just starting to comprehend. Thus, that's the scoop on the causes of type 1 diabetes. Now shift our focus to type 2. Next up is type 2 diabetes, a form largely influenced by lifestyle choices. The lifestyle we choose to lead plays an enormous role in determining our health. In the case of type 2 diabetes, certain lifestyle factors are particularly significant, such as dietary habits, physical activity levels, and weight management. To understand how these factors contribute to type 2 diabetes, we first need to grasp the concept of insulin resistance. Our bodies rely on insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas, to regulate our blood sugar levels. With insulin resistance, our bodies don't respond to insulin as they should, leading to high blood sugar levels. Over time, this can evolve into type 2 diabetes. Let's talk about diet. Poor dietary choices, especially regular consumption of processed foods high in sugar and unhealthy fats, can lead to weight gain and raise your risk of developing insulin resistance. Consuming whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, on the other hand, can help maintain a healthy weight and stabilize your blood sugar levels. Physical activity, or rather the lack of it, is another key player. A sedentary lifestyle can increase your risk of becoming overweight or obese, which in turn raises your risk of developing insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Regular physical activity helps your body use insulin more effectively, keeping your blood sugar levels in check. Lastly, we need to address the elephant in the room: obesity. Carrying excess weight, particularly around your midsection, is a significant risk factor for type 2 diabetes. Why? Because fat cells, especially those in the abdomen, are more resistant to insulin. The more of these cells you have, the harder your pancreas has to work to keep your blood glucose levels under control. In conclusion, lifestyle choices significantly impact your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. By eating a balanced diet, maintaining regular physical activity, and managing your weight, you can help your body use insulin more effectively, reducing your risk of this disease. Remember, your daily choices can greatly impact your health. Now let's talk about diabetes during pregnancy. Pregnancy can bring about many changes, including the risk of developing gestational diabetes. In the wonderful journey of pregnancy, a woman's body undergoes numerous transformations. One of these changes is an increase in certain hormones, including human placental lactogen, that can cause insulin resistance. Insulin, the hormone that helps our cells absorb glucose for energy, becomes less effective, meaning blood sugar levels can increase, a condition we call gestational diabetes. But not all expectant mothers will develop gestational diabetes. Certain risk factors can make some women more susceptible. These include a family history of type 2 diabetes, being overweight before pregnancy, or having previously given birth to a baby weighing more than 9 pounds. Additionally, women over the age of 25 or those of certain ethnicities, such as Hispanic, African, Native American, South or East Asian, or Pacific Islander descent, may also have an increased risk. Gestational diabetes typically presents no obvious symptoms, making routine screening crucial during pregnancy. If left undiagnosed or untreated, gestational diabetes can lead to complications for both mother and baby. For the mother, high blood sugar levels can increase the likelihood of a cesarean section delivery, as babies may grow too large for a safe vaginal delivery. There's also a risk of developing type 2 diabetes later in life. For the baby, aside from being larger than average at birth, they may face low blood sugar levels after birth and a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes as they grow older. But it's not all doom and gloom. With early detection and proper management, including diet modifications, regular exercise, and in some cases medication, gestational diabetes can be effectively controlled, ensuring a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. Gestational diabetes can be a serious health concern, but with awareness and care, it can be managed. Let's move on to the role of genetics in diabetes. Did you know your family history could increase your risk of diabetes? This is not to say that everyone with a family history of diabetes will inevitably develop the condition, but it does suggest that some of us may be more genetically predisposed than others. To understand this, we need to delve into the world of genetics. We all inherit a unique combination of genes from our parents. These genes are like a blueprint that influences everything from our eye color to our height. But when it comes to diseases like diabetes, the picture gets a bit more complex. You see, there isn't a single diabetes gene that we can point to. Instead, scientists have identified several genes that can influence your risk of developing type 1 and type 2 diabetes. These genes are involved in various functions such as how your body produces insulin, how it responds to insulin, or how it regulates blood sugar levels. In type 1 diabetes, for instance, certain genes can make the immune system more likely to mistakenly attack the pancreas's insulin-producing cells. In type 2 diabetes, different genes can affect how your body responds to insulin or manages glucose. But here's the catch. Having these genes doesn't guarantee that you'll develop diabetes. It merely means you're more susceptible. Environment and lifestyle factors also play an enormous role. For example, a healthy diet and regular exercise can significantly reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, even if you have a genetic predisposition. Furthermore, it's important to note that genetic predisposition is not exclusive to diabetes. Many health conditions, from heart disease to certain types of cancer, have a genetic component. But again, genes are just one piece of the puzzle. Environment, lifestyle, and personal habits are equally, if not more, influential. So, if you have a family history of diabetes, don't panic. It doesn't mean you're doomed to develop the condition, but it does mean you should be proactive about your health. Regular checkups, a balanced diet, and exercise can go a long way in managing your risk. Genetics can play a key role, but it's not the whole picture. Let's move on to discuss other risk factors. There are other risk factors for diabetes that you should be aware of. Firstly, age is a significant factor. Our risk of developing diabetes increases as we get older, particularly after the age of 45. This is largely because as we age, we tend to exercise less, lose muscle mass, and gain weight. Ethnicity is another critical element. Certain ethnic groups, including African Americans, Latinos, Native Americans, Asian Americans, and Pacific Islanders, are at a higher risk of developing diabetes. This increased risk may be attributed to genetic factors, diet, lifestyle, and, unfortunately, access to healthcare. Furthermore, certain health conditions can also increase the likelihood of developing diabetes. For instance, people with a history of heart disease or stroke are more susceptible. Similarly, conditions such as polycystic ovary syndrome or PCOS can increase a woman's risk. It's also worth noting that those with prediabetes, a condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal but not quite high enough to be classified as diabetes, are at a significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Being aware of these factors is crucial. It helps us understand our individual risk and prompts us to take proactive steps towards prevention. Regular checkups, a balanced diet, regular exercise, and maintaining a healthy weight are all measures that can help reduce the risk. Remember, understanding these risk factors can help you take control of your health. We've covered a lot today on the causes of diabetes, from the autoimmune origins of type 1 to the lifestyle factors influencing type 2, the risks of gestational diabetes, genetic predispositions, and other risk factors. It's essential to be aware and take proactive steps in managing your health. If you found this information useful, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe to NebBlue Healthy. Until next time, stay healthy and stay informed.